Welcome back to Schmattz Outdoors, everyone. Winding down on another beautiful day. As you can see, the sun's just about set behind me here. So I thought we're gonna film just a little short video for you guys. Go over kind of my season preview this year. So this year we're gonna trap straight through, hopefully somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 to 35 days. Just depends on what the weather does, and then vacation and everything else in there too. So I trap here in Minnesota. We gotta check everything every day. So I need to take vacation days to run my entire line. With that said, we're gonna go at it hard. I know fur prices are down on most species, but that does not matter for me. The more effort I put in, the more I get out of my season. As dumb as that sounds, you get 20 days into my 30-day season, I am worn down and exhausted. The fun level might be down a little bit, but looking back at it, you know, I enjoy every second of my line. So we're gonna go at it hard. Every species, we're gonna hit some species harder than others, especially early on in the season here. Coyotes is always kind of the number one animal. We're gonna go at them as hard as I can. Sounds like there's a lot of coyotes around. Landowners are already either calling me or I've talked to them, you know, to get permission to trap, and they're telling me there's coyotes running everywhere. They're losing cats and dogs out of their yards. So coyotes is gonna be high on the list. At the beginning of the season, I may take it a bit easy. We're gonna set out a coyote line the first couple days, and then the water season will start, and that's where I'm gonna focus my efforts. So hopefully I don't get a season like last year where it freezes me up the first night. We generally get about 7 days of open water trapping in my area here, and I am gonna try and make the most of that. We're setting some lofty goals this year for water species. Beavers, I'm gonna say my goal is 5. So what I have, we'll go over this right away. We're not gonna show it in real detail. I just print off a sheet every year. I have the species I normally catch on this side. And what I do is I just tally, put a tick mark every night when I get home. You know, if I catch 5 coons, I mark, you know, tally 5 coons. And then on this last one, I have my goals for the season. A little bit for me, a little bit for like my family. When they come, they can look to see, count up how many tallies I have against how many my goal was for the season. At the end of the season, I have a total column here, so I actually will fill out that. So we're not gonna, like, you know, go right down the list because I think that's a little bit boring to watch. But we're gonna start with water animals. We're gonna go after them hard. I have 2 beaver houses. I think they're both active. I have one more spot where I'm fairly sure there's some beaver or a beaver or 2. I don't know how easily they're gonna be to trap there, but I think we're gonna try and set some sets there and see what happens. So my goal is 5 beaver. I don't want to trap out either one of the 2. The one house maybe, the other house I definitely do not. I caught 2 beaver out of it last year, 1 big one, 1 little one. I'm pretty sure there's beaver back in there again, so we're gonna put probably 1 set there, or maybe 2 at the most. And if I catch 2 or 3 beaver there, I'm gonna pull my sets out of there. Around the new house that I have for this year, it was there last year. I just did not know it until after the season, or I was just about done trapping, and then I found it. So there should be a pair of adults and a few little ones in there. So I don't think 5 is too out of the realm. I could easily see that number creeping up closer to 10, and I'd be all for that. As people start getting crops off here, so we're early or late September right now, beans are just starting to be harvested in my area. Usually once the beans and corn start getting harvested, I find out about more beaver. So I do have one more possible spot when they're combining the field. They think there's a beaver dam out across this field. If there is, they're going to let me know. So I might have a fourth or third, however you want to look at a spot. So it could be a size 8 to 10 beaver. I'm hoping for 5. I also do have a lake right below the hill. This year I may actually try to put a beaver set down there too. I have caught a few down there over the year. Usually it's only like 1 or maybe 2 a year, but I may put a set down there anyway if I put a coyote set and some other traps down there. So otter, again, 1 in a million animal for me. So if I catch one, it'd be a surprise. Muskrats, my previous best season is 300 right on the nose. I caught 300, I think 2 seasons ago. My goal is 301. We're gonna go at them hard. I've made some floats. I made some more colony traps. I've made a bunch more drowning rigs, so I'm gonna make some more portable pockets and drowning sets for mink, but I did catch a fair amount of muskrats in those as well. And so I'm going to try and one up my previous best season of 300. I'm going to try and get 301. My goal is to have somewhere around 300 or 150 muskrat sets out, you know, kind of at the peak. Probably get 100 or so out the first day with some mink sets in there as well, and then try and work myself up close to that 150 mark. So with that, I mean, that's really only 2 muskrats a set. You know, that seems pretty feasible to me. And it seems like there's a lot of muskrat and a lot of muskrat sign around. I touched on it just a second ago, but I made another dozen portable pockets for mink. So anywhere I'm trapping a slough that's got muskrats in there, I'm going to be putting in a portable pocket and a mink set. I don't know how many I'm going to catch, but I'm hoping to tally up quite a few. My previous best season again was 6 mink. My goal is 7 this year, so I'm hoping to best my muskrat total and best my mink total this season. So again, I'm gonna cut back or lay off the land animals just a little bit. I'll put out some, you know, well, wherever I'm running my water line, I'll have sets, intermingled land sets. But we're gonna probably take it a bit easy, at least for the first few days of water season, and we're gonna go after the water animals hard. So with that, coyotes, I'm hoping to catch 25. Same thing with raccoons. Last year I only ended up with 16 coyotes and 9 raccoons. I did have a couple pullouts of raccoons and that type of stuff in my coyote set, so I think 25 is a normal number for me, or anything over 20 I'd be pretty happy with. And again, same thing with coyotes. I think there's a lot of them around. With that, I get a little bit of bycatch of fox and badgers. So I'm hoping about 3 of each, 3 fox, 3 badgers. I'd be happy with that. So we also built some more weasel boxes. So I have a dozen weasel boxes. My best season was last year. I caught 4 weasels in 1 season. We're gonna go at them, and I've done that 2 times now, 3 seasons ago, and then last season I had 4 weasels. I'm hoping that we're gonna try and get up around, the goal is to get a personal best, so 5 weasel. I'd be happier to get around 10, that's kind of my goal. So we're maybe gonna put them out just a bit earlier than last year, because I caught a weasel in one of my mink sets, like, I don't know, a week into the season or less, and he was pure white already. So I may go a little bit earlier. Usually the last about 2 weeks I trap is when I put weasel boxes out. We're gonna probably try at least a week earlier than that. So I think I touched on pretty much everything except for skunks. Again, skunks are a byproduct of raccoon sets and coyote sets, so I'm hoping 15 to 20 skunks. I make pretty decent money on them usually, so I'm used to hate catching them. Now I'm pretty happy when I catch one. So I I think that's all I really have. Like I said, we're going to hit water animals hard. As soon as it freezes up, then the land animals, it's going to be go on the land animals. But again, we're going to have land sets out. We're going to be checking a land line at the same time as the water line, but we're going to go after water animals pretty hard. So there's tons of water. We had lots of rain all summer. We had an easy winter last winter, which I think is helping all animal species, both land animals and water animals. So with that, that's all I have for you guys. If you guys got any questions or anything like that for me, leave them down below. Stay tuned for my Out on the Line series starting around the new year. Otherwise, we'll see you guys out on the line.